Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me again for another Saturday Pilates class. Good morning if you are joining me right when this video comes out. If not, I hope that it is a wonderful day for you. So if you watched my last video, you know that this week is going to be hips and legs. So it's going to be a lower body focused workout, not to say that we won't use our upper body a little bit, but predominantly lower body. It should make our legs feel tired and fatigued and strong all at the same time, alright? So we're going to get right into it. If you've noticed in this video and the last video, I am donning my nice long socks because it is officially fall and I am cold. I'm sure there's a few of you out there that can relate with that. So lots of long socks coming to you soon. Alright, so if you did last week's workout, some of these warm-up exercises will be familiar to you. We're going to start with our feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward. We're just going to take a couple deep breaths in to start. So breathing in and out. Good. Breathing in as we reach up. Good job. All right. Keep those toes pointed forward and your feet flexed. And you're going to rock onto one foot and then to the other. And can you stay nice and long in the sides? So try not to bend from one side to the other, but stay nice and stiff. Hips pushing forward just slightly. Core is slightly engaged. And you'll just rock from side to side. Maybe call this the tick-tock. Evidently, because it looks like a tick-tock. And an old grandfather clock. Okay, just rocking from side to side, really trying to stand nice and tall on each leg as you stand. So try not to kind of rock like this, but keep nice and stiff and straight. And your core is gently engaged. So sucking that belly button in, side to side. Good, and we can reach up and down. And one more. Good. Okay, you're going to come to one side and pause, holding that leg still, and then you're just going to pulse this other leg slightly up. Good. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rock back and forth. Woo, don't fall over. 3, 2, 1. And fall to this side. And lift that leg just gently. A little bit of a pulse. Those glutes should be working a lot already. We're getting right into it this time. Good. Let's go for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, nice and long. 4, 3, 2, 1, and tick-tock side to side. A few more. And 3, and 2, and 1. Oh, and relax. All right, shake those hips side to side. Good. Okay. Feet are parallels, and so pointed forward and in line with your hips this time, so a little more narrow. And you're going to squat down as you reach up to the sky and come standing as your arms come down. So reaching up to squat and down. And 3, and 2. And 1. Good. This time when you come up, you're going to come up onto your toes. So squatting down normally and coming up onto your toes. And down. And toes. Good job. Ooh. Try not to fall over like I do. Good. And hold. Arms can come down to your side or just on in front of you. And you're going to lift one heel and then the other. Stay in your squat position. And lift. Good. And we're going to lift both heels now. And lift. Right up on your toes. And down. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Stand. Step out just slightly and turn your toes to the outside. And you're going to come down in a squat. And you're going to come up onto your toes again, but this time in a little bit of that external rotation. Squat. And up. Squat. And up. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good. And come up. Whew, shake it out. I have to sneeze. Good job, everyone. Okay, so we're going to move our spine a little bit. I'll stand sideways. You're going to reach to the sky, and you won't be able to see my hands when I reach them up, but you can just kind of loop them around, or you can clasp them, whatever's comfortable. Now my hips stay very, very still, and I'm going to flex forward gently, and then extend back, and flex forward, and extend back. So thinking about bending right from the base of your rib cage and not your neck, okay? One more in each direction. Good. Now we're going to draw little circles on the ceiling, moving from our torso and keeping our hips very, very stable. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And switch directions, go the other way. And come down. Whew. Good work, everyone. Okay, we're going to go into a lunging position. So we'll put our right foot forward, our left leg back, and you're going to start by coming down into kind of a small lunge. So it's just a gentle one. We're not going all the way down to the floor. And then from your hips, I just want you to lean forward just slightly. So our back is nice and flat. Our bum is sticking back just slightly to the back wall behind us. We're very, very stable on this foot. And you should notice that your knee is right in line with your toe, so don't let it fall to the outside or to the inside, okay? And from here, you're going to raise your arms up to the sky and back down. And raise. And down. Good. And 2 more. And up. Good. And down. Hands can come to your waist if that's comfortable. Now push off with this back leg and just come up to almost standing on that front leg, and then come down and push up and come down. So we're moving with lots of control both directions. So make sure that you can go slowly up and slowly down. Good. Find the stability. Core in, so belly button to spine. Good. 2 more. And 1. All right, this time you're going to come up and you're going to pause, standing on that leg. Back leg will just tap the floor and lift and tap and lift. Let's go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 And 1, come down with control. And step, center. Woo, shake that leg out. Good work, everyone. Switch sides. Left leg is forward now. Get into your gentle lunge. And then you're going to lean those hips slightly forward. So bum sticks back behind you just a little bit. Belly button really draws in to find lots of support across the front of your body. Arms come down by your side. And you'll reach them up as you breathe in and down as you exhale. Keep that knee right over top of your toe, or just slightly behind it, but barely. Last one. Good. Hands on your hips if that's comfortable. And you're going to come up and lower down. And come up and lower down. So you are shifting your weight forward a little bit as you come up and controlling it as you set that foot down. All the way up and all the way down. Good work. And 3, control down. And 2, and 1, and hold. Staying all the weight over top of that foot, and tap your right foot to the floor and lift. Tap and lift. Belly button to spine, front of your core stays nice and tight to protect your lower back. And 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Come back with control. And step together. Good work, guys. Oh, I hope you're nice and warm now, because I am. We're going to come down to the ground. And we're going to sit in what we call a mermaid pose. You may be familiar with this from other mobility classes, particularly Kelson's. Now, if really, really tight is not going to work for you, just open up the angle of your knee a little bit. So open up your feet just slightly to a point where it's fairly comfortable. Okay? We're going to sit here and breathe for a minute. Good. And then you're going to put one hand on the floor, and you're going to arc yourself up and over, really kind of dropping that shoulder down, so pushing into the floor and reaching up. And then you'll put the other hand on the floor and curve up and over. Okay, so we're going from side to side. One more on each side. And around. Good. All right. Foot in front of you, the foot is going to flex. Okay? And you may not get very much movement with this, and that is completely fine. Okay? You're going to start just by lifting that knee as high as it'll go, and lowering it down. And lifting, and lowering. Okay? Foot stays on the ground, it's just the knee that raises. And can you try to stay nice and tall, so don't let yourself fall back as you lift the leg. Sit right up on that sitting bone on this hip, on the one that's bent in front of you. To my right. And last one. Good, let it relax. You're going to try to lift your ankle off the floor. It's okay if it doesn't move very far. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower, so nice and tall. And lower. Let's do one more. And lower. Good. Now, even if your heel needs to drag along the floor, that's okay. But you're going to lift that leg and set it out straight in front of you. Okay? And then keeping that foot flexed, so toes to the sky, you're going to bend that leg back in front of you. Good. Reach out in front. Heel can drag, so if your heel is dragging, that's okay. You're still doing the work. Really fight to get that heel off as best you can. 2 more. And last one. Good. All right. Now, this may cause a little bit of cramping, so just be aware. Back foot You're going to try to lift it up off the floor. Mine doesn't move very far at all. And lift. And lift. Whew. Try to shift as little as possible. I'm kind of shifting off to the side. Try to fight that. And 3. And 2. Whew. And 1. It's tough for me too, guys. Good. Alright, keep your feet on the floor. Hands can come behind you or they can stay in front, whatever you'd like. And you're going to rock your knees over to one side. So they go the other way. And then come back to that starting side. And then rock to one side. And then the other. Good. One more. Good. And then you can either rock yourself all the way over to the other side or just switch. I'm going to switch so that I'm still facing the camera. And set yourself up on this side. Take a couple breaths, let yourself settle. I'm going to put one hand on the floor, draw your shoulder down, and reach up and over. Good, and then other hand on the ground, and reach up and over. And curve around, and switch. And curve around. Good work, everyone. All right. Flex that foot in front of you. Heel stays down, foot stays down. And your knee is just going to come up. You may find that these positions on this side are easier or harder. Everyone has a good side and a bad side. Let's go 3, and 2, and 1. Good, now trying to lift that foot up off the floor. Ooh, this one's hard. Good, and lift. Even if you're just taking the pressure off and it's not lifting, that's okay, as long as the pressure is coming off just slightly. Good, and it's not totally relaxed. And 2 more. Last one. Good. All right, keeping that foot flexed, you're going to slide or lift your leg out to straight. Good work. Try to stay as straight as possible. Let's go for 4. And 3. And 2. Last one. And 1. Good. All right, going to our back leg now. Trying to lift that foot off the floor, knee will stay down without shifting too much. It's very hard to do. Good, but it should really activate those hips and get them working. Good, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and relax. All right, bring both feet in front of you, flat on the floor, hands can go behind you, and just rock your knees from one side to the other. Good. And from there, you're going to come down onto your mat, lying on your back. Right leg will be out straight, left leg is going to stay bent. And just take a few deep breaths here as your body settles on the mat. And you're going to find that heavy tailbone. Okay, so we find our neutral spine by getting heavy on our tailbone. Slight curve underneath that lower back, just a gentle one. And you're going to be even across the hips, so you don't want your hips falling from one side to the other, okay? The right toes are going to point towards the ceiling, so your foot is nice and flexed. And from there, can you reach that long, almost like you're trying to kick the wall over there in front of you. And you're going to raise it to the sky, only as far as you don't need to press your lower back into the floor, okay? So stay heavy on the tailbone. And then lower it down. So lift and really feel that hamstring stretch and lower down. Lift it up and lower. Draw the belly in as you lift up and let it release slightly as you lower down. Belly button tightens and draws in and lower. Lift it up and lower and lift and lower. Good. One more. And lower and shake it out. Good. All right. You're going to raise that leg to the sky and straighten the other one. Okay? If it doesn't go straight to the ceiling, that's okay. You can also do this with a bent knee, but let's try for straight. And you're going to draw a little circle on the ceiling with your foot. And can you think about not rocking your pelvis around as you do it? So obviously I'm exaggerating, but staying very, very still with those hip bones as you draw the circle. If you're doing it with your bent knee, you're drawing the circle with your knee. Okay? Good. Let's switch directions. Go the other way. Good. Really try to keep those hip bones level. Belly button stays in and tight. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good. And lower the leg. Okay, let it fall to the outside for a moment. You need to. Okay, now that foot is bent, other leg is straight, toes to the ceiling, heavy on your tailbone. Reach the leg long and lift it up and lower down. Lift up only as far as you don't feel your lower back pushing into the ground. You should feel a hamstring stretch, so a stretch across the back of your leg. That is a good thing. And your core is nice and tight. Finding those hip bones and really thinking about cinching them together like you're putting on a really tight belt. Good. And lift. And lift. Let's go for 3 and 2. Lift a little higher if you can. And 1. Good. Let the leg fall. Shake it out for a moment. Stretch out your right. And then staying with that left leg, same leg, reach it to the sky or as high as you can, staying heavy on the tailbone, and start to draw some circles. They don't have to be very big, but what I do want to see is that your hips stay level and they don't fall with the leg. So don't let them fall as your leg comes around. Have control and a very, very strong core. Good. Let's switch directions. Go the other way. Really anchor that opposite hip. So right hip really drives into the floor while your left leg turns. And 3, and 2, and 1, and lower. Good. Rock your knees from side to side. Good. Okay. Feet are flat on the floor and they're in line with your hips. And I want you to have them fairly close to your bum. So maybe about 6 inches or so. Arms are going to be flat down on your side. You're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to push into your feet and your arms and lift your hips off the floor. Good. Inhale to come back down. Exhale, push feet and arms and lift. Inhale down. Exhale, press feet and arms and lift. Inhale down. Exhale, press feet and arms and lift and hold. From here, you're going to roll down your spine with your exhale. So vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way back down to the floor. And then tuck your tailbone at the bottom and roll all the way back up. So rolling back down, all the way to the floor, and pushing into your feet and hands and rolling back up. One more just like that. Roll down. And push into your feet and arms and roll back up and hold. So holding this position here, take a deep breath in and exhale and hold it. Inhale and exhale and hold. Good. Staying in this position. Can you keep your toes on the ground, but raise your right heel into the air, lower it and switch sides. So raise right, lower, raise left, lower and right, and left, and right, and left. Continue to push your hands into the floor and your arms into the floor for support. And lift, and lift. Good. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, switch, 6, switch, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your body up there and begin to roll down your spine all the way back to the floor. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, push hands and feet, raise to the sky. Pause here. You're going to push extra hard with your right foot and your left arm. So opposite foot and arm are going to push really hard into the floor, but can you keep your pelvis still? Release that pressure. And now switch sides. So your left foot and right arm push extra hard. Pelvis stays level. Release. Switch sides. Push, push, push. Release. Switch sides and push. Full arm, full foot. And release. One more each side. Right leg, left arm. Release. Left leg, right arm. Pelvis stays steady. Release but stay up. Find that pressure in your left leg and your right arm and bring your right leg up to tabletop. Good. Lower it down. Switch sides, so finding opposite foot and arm as your left leg reaches high. Switch sides. Right leg comes up. Drive your hand and foot, arm and foot into the ground. And switch. And other side. Remembering to breathe. And lower. Good. One more on each side. Right leg comes up. Drive foot and hand into floor. Lower down. Left leg comes up. Lower down. And come all the way down. Good work. Give your knees a little hug. Take a deep breath. Roll onto your side. And we're going to start on our left side. So, we did this one in the last class, but this time both knees are going to be bent and they'll be at about a 45-degree angle with your hips, or kind of anywhere from like 90 degrees with your hips to 45, so somewhere in there. Feet are stacked, knees are stacked, hips are stacked, and head is resting gently onto your bicep on the bottom arm. From here, I want you to reach your hips and your bum towards the back wall so that you get a bit of a space under your side on the mat side. And this waist also feels really long, so you're kind of stretching out both sides of your waist. Feet are going to stay together. Waist is lifted. And you're going to lift your knee up off the floor, off the other knee. Only as high as you don't rock your hips back. Okay, so keep them stacked and lower down. Lift and lower. Good work, everyone. Lift and lower. Stay long in the waist on both sides. Really pulling those ribs up and dropping them into your back. Okay, find strong core and long waist. You should feel your glutes working. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Good. This time you're going to lift foot and knee off the floor. to come to parallel with your hip, with your top hip. Okay? And you're just going to do a little pulse up here. So really finding your glute as you squeeze it to lift that leg a little higher and a little lower. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Straighten out that leg and lower it down. Good. All right, foot is flexed. You're going to lift your leg and lower. Zuri. All right, finding your long waist, lifting your leg to parallel, and you're going to lift a little higher and lower to level with the hip. Lift and lower. Good. Excellent. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it rest for a moment, keeping that waist high. You're going to turn your toes slightly so that they start to face the ceiling, but you're not rocking back on that hip, okay? So keep it stacked on top of the other. And you're going to lift with your toes just slightly up to the sky. Now this may feel easier for some of you. For me in particular, it feels a lot harder. All right, and you're just going to lift here. Good, and 5. Keep that waist lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let it down to the floor. We're going to rotate the foot so that it's slightly pointing down, thinking about moving the whole leg bone so that we internally rotate or point the toe downwards. Good, and then lift in that same position, toes slightly pointed down. Good work. Now again, this one may feel easier or harder for some of you, depending on who you are. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and bring that leg in. Rub your bum out a little bit. Give your leg a hug. Excellent work. Okay. We're going to switch onto our belly. We'll do the other side in a minute. Don't you worry. Okay, you're going to have your hands in front of you so your head can just rest on your hands. And you're going to tuck your chin so that your forehead is just resting on your hands, all right? From here, take a deep breath in. My head will stay up so I can talk. And exhale, pull your belly button in towards your spine to feel a little bit of a protection of your lower back. Exhale to release, sorry, inhale to release. Exhale, pull your belly button up. Inhale, release. And exhale, pull your belly button up. Good. On your next exhale, you're going to reach your right leg long and lift it up off the floor just slightly. And inhale to release. Exhale, we'll switch sides, so left leg will reach up and release. Inhale, exhale, reach away. Release. Exhale, reach other leg long. Good work, everyone. Really sucking that belly button in towards your spine as you lift your leg. Squeezing with your bum in the back of your leg to make that leg lift. Alternating from side to side. Good. Even out. From here, you're going to lift your right leg and down, and left leg and down, and both legs and down. We'll go right again, and left, and both. Belly button to spine the whole time. Right leg, left leg, both. One more time. Right leg, left leg, both, and hold. Belly button to spine. Deep breaths. Reach those legs like you're trying to touch the wall behind you, squeezing your glutes and their hamstrings, so back of the leg, back of the bum, and release to the floor. Good job, everybody. All right, open your legs slightly so that they're about the same width as your mat. You're going to bend your knees, put your heels together, and turn your toes outward. So feet are directly towards the sky. They're not coming too close or falling too far. Right towards the sky. Feet are flexed. So you feel the activation in your ankle. And heels are together, but toes are apart, knees are apart. From here, you're going to squeeze your bum as you suck your belly button in and lift your knees up off the floor just slightly and lower down. Good job. And lift and squeeze and lower. Lift and lower. Really finding that belly button, squeezing across the front of your belly and reaching those feet towards the ceiling. Lift and lift. Let's go for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and release. Good job. Just shake your hips back and forth. And then you're going to roll over onto the other side. So the one that we haven't done yet. Knees are bent slightly in front of us. Feet on top of foot, knee on knee, hip on hip. So everything is lined up. And head just resting on your bicep. Reach that top hip longer so that the lower waist comes slightly off. Feet stay together. And you will raise your knee up as far as you can. Remembering the hips stay stacked, so don't let them fall backwards. You can take a peek and just make sure that they're right on top of one another as you do this. And can you pull your ribs up and your waist up from the mat below you just slightly? So we're long here and we're long underneath. Remembering to breathe. Good, you should feel the activation in your bum and in your hip joint. And 2 and 1. Good work. This time the whole leg is going to lift just to the same height as the top hip. And you're going to pulse it just a little higher and a little lower. Higher and lower. Just little tiny movements without rocking the rest of your body, so staying nice and stable. You can flex your foot. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten that leg and lower it to the mat. Excellent. So getting your waist nice and high, ribs drawing in. Okay, so we're not popping them, we can draw them in slightly. And you're going to flex your foot, so toes will point forward. And you're just going to lift the leg to the same height as your hip and lower it down, or just slightly past the hip. And can you keep those ribs up, so don't let yourself drop into the floor. Keep it nice and lifted. That's excellent, everyone. Keep it up with me. 5 and 4 and 3, nice and long in the front of the hip, and 2 and 1. Settle to the floor. You're going to turn in your hip joint so that the toe is slightly pointed towards the ceiling. Hips stay stacked, and lift and lower. Good work, everyone. Pull those ribs up from the mat below. And 3 and 2 and 1. Excellent. Settle down quickly. Rotate to the inside or down to the mat, to the ground, and lift and lower here. Excellent work. Ribs stay off. Hip is wide and open. And 3 and 2 and 1, and settle down. Good. Give it a little bit of a rub and a hug. Good work, everyone. And come on up still onto your belly, but up a little bit. So, actually I lied. We are going to come back down. Hands can settle onto your head can settle onto your hands. And legs are out straight, okay? So what you're going to do here, I'm going to start with our right leg, and you're just going to bend it in towards your bum and reach it away. Same leg, we'll stay on one leg. Reach it into your bum and push it away. So head is resting on your hands. And your upper body is fairly relaxed, so shoulders drop down and rest. And as you lift your leg, can you find your belly, pull it into your spine, and keep your lower back long. So don't let it arc as you pick your foot up. Okay, belly button to spine. Good. You're going to pause up here. What I want you to do is flex your foot, reach the heel to the sky as you slightly lift that knee off the floor. Keep it lifted. Point your toe so everything is raised as you stretch it out, and lower it back to the ground. All right, let's try that again. Bend your knee, foot comes to your bum. Flex your foot. Raise your knee off the floor, reaching your heel to the ceiling. Point your toes and lower the leg. Again, heel to bum, flex the foot, raise to the sky, point, and lower. Heel to bum, flex the foot, raise the knee, stretch it out, and lower. We're doing two more. Flex, raise the knee, point the toe and reach, and lower. Last one. Heel to bum, raise the knee, point, and lower. Good work. Shake it out. All right, we're going to the left side. Just bend the knee in and reach it away. Bend the knee and reach it away. Keep your core nice and tight here as you pull that knee in. Don't allow your lower back to relax or start to be used. Okay, core stays nice and tight. You should feel like you're getting really long across your quad or across the front of your thigh. Good. And come up and pause. Flex the heel or the foot. Reach the heel to the sky. Point your toe and lower it back down. So pull it into your bum. Reach the heel to the sky, knee lifts. Point and lower. Good. Pull it in. Reach to the sky. Point and lower. Pull in. Reach to the sky. Point. Glute is working very hard. Bum is working very hard. And lower. Let's do two more. Pull it in. Reach it up. Point and lower. Last one. Pull in. Reach up. Point and lower. Good work. Let's go back to our right leg. Bend it in. Heel points to the ceiling. Foot is flexed. You're going to reach the heel to the sky and then lower and reach and lower. So leg stays bent, and we're just using our bum and our hamstring to lift and lower that leg. Draw your belly button in, keep your core tight, and lift and lower this leg. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Good. Left side. Bend the knee. Bend the foot. Heel reaches to the sky. Glute contracts and lower. Bum contracts, so lift that leg up and lower. Keep core tight. Head is down. 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower completely, and shake it out. Whew. Good job, everybody. All right, come up. You're going to come up onto your back and just give your knees a hug and take a couple deep breaths in. Good. If you cross your legs, uncross them. Pull yourself, put your hands underneath your knees and just roll yourself up. Okay? You're going to keep your hands there. You're going to lift your feet up off the floor. Now you're going to go through this gently, and you're not going to go as far as your neck, so only go to kind of your shoulder blades or lower, okay? You're going to rock back and come all the way up. And rock back. Keep your head off the ground. Don't let yourself go into your neck. And hopefully this feels kind of good on your spine. Just rocking nice and gently. Got a little bit of core too, but mostly just a nice little mini massage for your back. And 2. And 1. And come all the way up. Good job. All right. When you're ready, you're going to come to standing. I just want you to relax there and see how you feel. I hope that you feel maybe a little taller, a little bit more stretched out, and a little bit more stable on the floor. So just kind of like anchored, like our hips are working and our legs are working, and we're anchored onto the ground. We feel very grounded. Okay, you're just going to take some deep breaths in. And exhale. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. Good work, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. I hope you've had a wonderful week and that this was a great way to kind of end it, or at least start your weekend. Make sure you join me for next week. I don't know what the theme is yet, so I will let you know with the little promo that comes out, so stay tuned. As always, if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the section below, or you can reach out to me on the D1 at ashlyn.carosis@forces.gc.ca, and I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that you may have, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Bye, guys.